Hello, my name is Marcos Gutierrez, and I am a Master's of Business Administration student for the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Today, I'll be presenting my research project titled Moving Minds: Impact of Exercise on Work Productivity. This project explores how physical exercise influences productivity in the workplace and considers how workplace inclusion plays a supporting role in this relationship. Research objectives. The main objective of this research is to explore whether regular physical exercise has a measurable impact on workplace productivity. In addition, the study looks at whether an inclusive work environment can enhance the positive effects of exercise. By combining both physical and social factors, the goal is to understand how employee performance can be optimized. Hypothesis. The study proposes the following hypothesis. H1. Regular physical exercise significantly improves cognitive functions, which in turn leads to increased employee productivity and better workplace performance. This hypothesis is grounded in previous literature that links physical activity to enhance mental performance and workplace outcomes. Data sources and sampling method. To test this hypothesis, data was collected through an online survey created in Google Forms. Students in the QUMT 6310 Business Research class each distributed the survey to 10 individuals in their personal or professional networks. We received a total of 924 responses, but only 687 of those were used after applying screening criteria to ensure data quality. These included 3 attention checking questions and the exclusion of responses with low variability, meaning all Likert scaled question responses that had a standard deviation of less than zero point 0.4 were excluded. The sampling method used was non-probability convenience sampling, where respondents were selected based on availability rather than randomization. Measurement instrument variables. The study's variables were categorized into 3 types. A dependent variable, which was work productivity, and this was a self-reporter's measurement of job performance and effectiveness. And independent variables. These were physical exercise, which was reported in weekly hours, and workplace inclusion, which was reported by a perceived level of inclusion and support in the workplace. There was also a listing of controlled variables. Now, these controlled variables included GPA, sleep duration, age, health status, work experience, and others. In the table below, you will see their definition of how they were presented by the self-reporter. All data was self-reported using a structured survey format to ensure consistency. Quantitative method H1. This study used a quantitative research approach to evaluate the hypothesis, specifically the regression analysis method. A regression was chosen because it allows for the examination of how multiple independent variables impact a continuous dependent variable. This method also helps isolate the effects of exercise and inclusion while controlling other influences. The goal was to test our theory and quantify the relationship between exercise, workplace inclusion, and productivity using numerical data collected from the survey. Our first slide of results will be that the results confirm the hypothesis. There is a statistically significant positive relationship between physical exercise and workplace productivity. The regression analysis showed a small but meaningful beta coefficient for the relationship from physical exercise to workplace productivity, with a beta equaling 0.01 and an R squared equaling 0.22. This supports the idea that exercise improves mental performance, which in turn boosts productivity. Results, slide 2. Additionally, findings show other significant predictors of work productivity, meaning other variables that also impacted in a positive way of productivity. There was workplace inclusion, which had a strong impact of a beta equaling 0.37 and a p of being low, meaning less than 0.05. This meaning having a higher sense of inclusion in the workplace correlated to a higher workplace productivity. The next variable was GPA. GPA also positively correlated with productivity, with a beta equaling 0.17 and a p being low of less than 0.05. This meant that having a higher GPA would correlate to being a higher workplace productivity individual. Now, the last variable had a negative relationship to productivity, and that variable would be sleep duration. Sleep duration had a beta of negative 0.07 and a p being low, meaning less than 0.05. This meant that the less you slept would correlate to a higher workplace productivity. These findings highlight the multifaceted nature of what drives productivity in the workplace. Conclusion and implications. In conclusion, this study shows that regular exercise improves cognitive performance, which in turn enhances workplace productivity. Furthermore, inclusive environments can amplify these benefits. The practical takeaway of organizations is clear. Promoting wellness programs, encouraging breaks for movement, and fostering inclusive cultures can lead to more productive employees. Limitations and future research. Of course, the study has its limitations. First, it uses a cross-sectional design, so we cannot establish causality. Second, all data was self-reported, which introduces potential for biases. Finally, the sample consisted mostly of younger individuals, limiting generalizability. Future research should include longitudinal studies, use objective health and productivity measures, and expand to more diverse populations, and use of exercise types to deepen our understanding. Thank you for your time and engagement throughout this presentation. I hope the insights shared today not only highlighting the powerful link between physical exercise and workplace productivity, but also sparked your curiosity to further explore this topic. Whether you're an academic, a professional, or simply passionate about health and performance, I encourage for you to consider conducting your own research or initiatives in this area. Together, we can build a more energized, inclusive, and high-performing work environment. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.